that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui, we guarantee.
And you said part of the proceeds is going to benefit the Maui disaster relief.
Yes, through Hawaii Community Foundation, which is a wonderful foundation.
I had hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough.
Well, the fortunate thing is I didn't have many larger contributors, and the only reason, see, I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talked about it. But what happened was they said, come back when you're 40, son. And so I had to go out.
Meanwhile,
I eat children. How old are you? 12. Oh, okay. Only to 10.
That's good. That's good.
Children and pineapple. Children and pineapple. I eat children.
Anybody can deny the impact of the climate crisis anymore. Just look around. Extreme heat, significant wildfires have caused significant damage like we've never seen before, not only throughout the Hawaiian Islands in the United States, but in Canada and other parts of the world. We've never seen this much fire. We're in a situation where, you know, we're, how can I say it? There's still some deniers out there in terms of whether or not climate change has anything to do with any of this. And we're going to need a whole hell of a lot more money to deal with emergency appropriations, to deal with all you're taking care of.
Oh, Mr. Magoo, yeah, sure.
is money.
Is money. Is money.
In hand.
Child molesting robot. I'm sorry, I'll speak up. It's a robot that is designed to molest children, and it can theoretically molest twice as many children as a human molester, and quite frankly, have to die.
And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office, and I got a phone call saying from my fire department, a young first responder kind of panicked, you got to come home. There's been an accident. I said, what happened? He said, your wife, she's dead. Come home, come home. The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. I refused to look at the direction. I just had to let myself look at all the years. 1970. But it took them over 2.5 hours in the jaws of life to save my boys. My one boy was in the back seat on top of his dead sister, and my other boy was on top of his dead mother.
5 minutes later.
But Senator, aren't you a living example?
I am an anachronism. I'm a 29-year-old oddball. The only reason I was able to raise the money is I was able to have a national constituency to run for office. Because I was 29, I'm like the token black or the token woman. I was the token young person.
We're talking about this national.
Additionally, my Department of Housing and Urban Development is working with the state to make sure survivors can move from emergency shelters.
At least twice, Biden himself has made public references to alcohol being involved in the crash. In 2007, Biden said the truck driver, quote, allegedly drank his lunch. And multiple news outlets, including CBS News, have reported that Dunn was drunk. Hamill disputes that, saying her dad had not been drinking.
The truth is, it was a tragic accident. No alcohol was involved.
The police reports have been lost.
Where she dedicated a room to the late Hawaii Senator Dan Inouye and his late wife Irene Hirano Inouye for their contributions to the U.S.-Japan relationship. The couple's children appeared virtually. On a personal note, Dr. Biden said the dedication was special because her husband, quote, truly loved Senator Inouye. She called Inouye President Biden's mentor and a true friend. The First Lady will leave Tokyo for Honolulu later tonight. She will be here to visit a vaccination clinic at Waipahu High School.
In fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for new vaccine that is necessary, that works. And tentatively, Not decided finally yet. Tentatively, it is recommended that, will likely be recommended that everybody get it, no matter whether they got it before. Now I'm going to happy to turn this over to the governor, Governor Green.
Wildfire season, PG&E is switching strategies to avoid sparking fires. The utility is now focused less on tree trimming and more on circuit breakers that cut power to a possibly damaged power line.
But in the East Bay, people say the system is too sensitive, causing constant power outages. They tell 7 on Your Side's Michael Finney it's beyond annoying. Michael?
We're getting a ton of complaints, let me tell you. The utility says it's all about wildfire safety. Enhanced safety sensors that de-energize power lines if something hits a wire, like a tree branch. Locals complain the system keeps shutting down their power for no apparent reason. The running joke? A mosquito must have landed on a power line.
5 years, Jan Schramek, a former Goldman Sachs trader and current CEO of Flannery Associates, met one-on-one with Congressman Mike Thompson to explain his vision to create a utopian city.
They tell me that they want to do it in a way that's environmentally appropriate, a way that will be energy efficient. It'll be a green development. It will not be in conflict with any of the military installation at Travis Air Force Base.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
Acquisition of Solano County farmland, encroaching Travis Air Force Base, is finally starting to reveal itself.
They told me that it was critical that they develop the shroud of secrecy in order to make the purchases that they wanted to make. And once they got the land, the critical mass of the land, then they were able to be more open than they had been.
For the first time in 5 years, Jan Schramek, a former Goldman Sachs trader and current CEO of Flannery Associates, met one-on-one with Congressman Mike Thompson to explain his vision to create a utopian city.
They tell me that they want to do it in a way that's environmentally appropriate, a way that will be energy efficient. It'll be a green development. It will not be in conflict with any of the military installation at Travis Air Force Base.
Would you say this meeting was productive? Did they come to you with specific plans on how they hope to tackle this?
No, we didn't talk a lot of specifics. As a matter of fact, I raised a couple of questions with them that they couldn't answer specifically.
Thompson says he asked Schramek questions about the agricultural work that's done in the area.
I don't think they had a clear understanding of the significance of livestock in Solano County. And it was my impression that they kind of poo-pooed the agricultural value of the land.
Public records obtained by the I-Team show Flannery has purchased more than 55,000 acres since 2018. In many cases, nearly double or triple what it's worth.
Hearing from some of the farmers that they were being threatened, these are family lands. I'm thinking, it's like, who are you guys?
In May, Flannery filed numerous lawsuits against Solano County farmers, alleging an illegal price-fixing conspiracy. The firm is seeking $510 million in damages.
And they claim that everybody who has been sued has the financial resources to defend themselves in court.
Sources have confirmed to the I-Team Flannery is backed by the heavyweights of Silicon Valley, including billionaire venture capitalist Michael Moritz, billionaire businesswoman Laureen Powell-Jobs, and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, among others.
And then just finding out that there are these billionaires and wanting to put a city in Solano County? No. What's the, where's the infrastructure going to come from? What about water?
The first bubonic plague victim appeared in 1900. Afraid of bad PR, the California state government went into cover-up mode, sneaking the evidence, dead bodies, out of the quarantine zone.
PG&E says the sensor program is working. Power line ignitions dropped 68% last year. Still, a PG&E report shows outages went up 44% last year and lasted 71% longer compared to a 5-year average.
Public records obtained by the I-Team show Flannery has purchased more than 55,000 acres since 2018. In many cases, nearly double or triple what it's worth.
Hearing from some of the farmers that they were being threatened. These are family lands. I'm thinking, it's like, who are you guys?
Hawaiian Electric said it had de-energized all of its power lines in Maui hours before the devastating wildfires broke out.
People understand, Hawaii Electric, Hawaii Power announced today that they cut power to the lines 6 hours. Their stock is on a freaking tear. The reason the stock was on a tear is that they think the liabilities are going away. They cut the power in Maui 6 hours before the fire. This Maui thing, I'm telling you, there's something not right. There's something not right. For 3 weeks, and here's the thing. They knew, and authorities knew they cut the power 3 weeks ago. So why are we just hearing it today?
So once again, the government is lying about the power lines being the cause of the fire. The electric company said its power lines were turned off 6 hours before the deadly blaze began. We now need to take a look at who's behind Hawaiian Electric. Taking a look at the top shareholders, and once again, we see Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. What are the odds that BlackRock is not only behind the electric company, but is also behind the second largest holder of land on Maui and behind the largest land grab in history that is currently taking place? Oh, and also, what are the odds that BlackRock owned banks on Maui? They were all miraculously spared from the fires. So BlackRock failed to update the power lines and trim back trees, even though there is a specific page dedicated entirely to tree trimming safety on Hawaiian Electric's very own website. Brian Deese, a former BlackRock investment executive, served on the National Economic Council. The former chief of staff to BlackRock's chief executive is also a top official at the Treasury Department. Previously sitting as the global chief investment strategist at BlackRock, Michael Pyle is now the chief economic advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. All three also worked with the Obama administration. Former BlackRock executive Eric Van Nostrand joined the U.S. Treasury Department as well. In the past, we've seen the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, say this.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
Safety sensors now control power flow to 1.8 million households across Northern California. Last weekend, it cut power to 8,000 Danville residents for 6 hours overnight.
In addition to his appalling vineyard mansion, what is mansion? I don't know what that word is. Obama, is that supposed to be mansion? Obama is also planning to live in an additional ecological monstrosity in Hawaii, owned by close crony Marty Nesbitt, chair of the Obama Foundation Board, and developed for the Obamas. ProPublica reported last year that the Obamas plan a beach house has a controversial seawall, which protects the estate in storms, but it's illegal.
Okay. So whatever damage or trauma happened to him to turn him into a sociopath had already occurred by that time. Now, there's a genetic component to being a sociopath, so he could possibly be just an organic sociopath and just genetically predisposed to be one. So for whatever it was that made Barry nuts, it had already occurred by that time.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.